And I do need, where's my little microphone? Can I put it in here? Yep. I got to figure this out too. I got a little microphone, but the little microphone has a little tripod, and the tripod, I don't think the tripod took its vitamins because it's not its first floor this one, so I'll just take this, plug it in, and just let it hang. I'll figure that out too. For any of y'all that know, been in my class, y'all know that I have been videoing my classes for the last couple of semesters. And we've gone from an Elmo being in the class, which is an overhead projector type deal, to a tablet that I used last semester, which sucked, but it was better than nothing. And they finally decided to buy me one of these, and I had the tripod at home. I don't know how I don't even have a camera, so I don't know where this came from. It was just in the closet, so I guess I got this through the divorce, so I don't know. I got a tripod. Anyway, that's that, and I also record up here, but one of the reasons I do that is for two reasons. One is you can't come to class every day because you have obligations, and sometimes you don't understand something, so it's nice to be able to go back and rewind and go over it again. And some of you, like Miss Wilson, don't ever come to class and cuts out of class. Hey, Miss Wilson. Oh, I'm sorry, you're here. I didn't know you were here today.
Yeah.
And you're able to go over the class over and over and over. I think maybe, hopefully, this little camcorder will be a whole lot better than the tablet because it'll at least do a little bit better on the lighting. I don't know. I gotta get it to download with the computer so I can see what it looks like first, because I can't tell very much on that little screen. So y'all just bear with me on that. If you want to go to my YouTube page, I got two of them. Just go to Hubert McClure, and there's a maroon shirt and a green shirt. The maroon shirt is my classes. So if you go to that one, go to playlist, and you'll see that I've already listed your classes right here. Last semester is right here. So if you want to go and see what one of them looks like, I will do that, but I'm going to cut it off because I don't like to hear myself talk. So, and where's the mute button? Where's the mute button? Okay, it's not playing. I've noticed, allow. I don't know why it's doing that. So, shut up. Okay, and there it is. And it goes through. That's the first day of class, and we're going to do that today. And if you want to go see what one's like with math, then just go into one. Here's one we go into math, I hope. Okay, and it will, well, eventually there we go. And I will do a problem, and I'll write on the board and all that good stuff, and you'll see how to do it. And what in the world is that? That's Google Earth. I was just showing, okay. I had somebody actually say something about this. When you're in 103 or 120 and you're talking about validity, you're talking about how valid numbers are, and you're talking about how tight something is, how tight the numbers are. I used a bearing and a shaft assembly, and I had somebody make fun of that on Rate My Professor, and I'm like, you ignorant? You just didn't even see the whole comparison. But anyway, can't believe I pulled that up. But that's what I'm talking about there in 120. Some of y'all might remember that from 120. I'm going to go over it again in 103, and we'll talk about that when we get to syllabus. But anyway, I tape the whole class, or a video, or whatever, the whole class, and that way you can go over it 2, 3, 5 times if you need to. And it works out real good. And for the 3 people that use it, you know. If I didn't use it, somebody'd go, why don't you video your classes? So I can't win. If you were asking about virtual office hours or office hours, I'm going to start doing a little bit more organized this time. I did it a couple of semesters ago where students would email me a question and I would post it on Facebook. Well, these are those videos that I did that year. I've also posted them on YouTube. These are in my office, and they are done just like if I was sitting beside you with a piece of paper. And what I want to do this year is I want to do a playlist on here, and this will be the green shirt. This is office hours. And I want to do a playlist, and I want to have your class as well as the other classes. And then when you send me a office hour problem, and how do you know it's office hour problem? Well, I need you to put that in the subject line so I'll know. And then I'll, you know, what's the difference between an office hour problem and a problem that you send to me to do in class? Well, that's the difference. If you send me a problem to do in class, that means you want me to do it for you when you come to class the next time. An office hour, you don't want to wait till class. You want me to do it that afternoon, and I post it and then send you an email, say, go to YouTube, I posted your question or something like that. You want it a little bit before class. And that's the difference. So I would highly suggest that you take advantage of this technology and just let me know if it's an office hour, and then I will post it in a playlist. I'll add a playlist, and it'll be called Math 103 Office Hours. And therefore, whenever you have a question, you send it to me, and I'll send you a reply. When I post it, I'll send a reply back, and I'll just say posted. And then you'll go to this playlist, and it'll say Math 103, and then you'll click on it, and you find your question. And that's something that I want to start doing with all my classes, and I would highly suggest that you take advantage of that. Okay? All right. That's all about YouTube. And now you know. Now, what about regular office hours? Well, regular office hours, if you checked your email today, which I know 90% of you haven't because you don't check your email before you go to class, which is something I don't understand, but hopefully some of you will start doing that in the near future, hopefully before you graduate. Always check your email before you go to class. I sent out a locator card today, I believe, or yesterday, there it is. And that is my office hours. I had to change it because I messed up one of my classes. I had it on Tuesday and Thursday instead of Monday and Wednesday. So now my office hours look like this. Pretty much Tuesday and Thursday, that's the best time to get in contact with me because Monday and Wednesday is my Hades day, my hell day, because I'm back to back except for lunch. Don't expect me to be here during lunch because I've got classes back to back. So don't expect me to be here during lunch. Unless you're going to buy me lunch, and then you can ask me all the questions you want to. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, there's my office hours right here, and right here on Tuesday and Thursday. And think about Friday, okay? All right? Friday we have no classes, okay? If you want me to help you, I will help you. No, I will not fuss at all. But let me know, okay? Don't say, oh, I'm going to come by your office Friday. What time? You know, the only thing I ask you to do is on Friday, try to be more specific and try to be more by appointment. Because if I don't have to be here till 10, I'm going to be at IHOP or Waffle House before I come up here, okay? Or I'm going to be running errands or doing something before I come here at 10 or whatever. I need you to be more specific on Friday for me, please. You don't have to, but I'd appreciate it. All right, so there's that. I sent this out to you yesterday, I think. So make sure you check your email. I don't even think I sent out did I send y'all a locator card before? I don't think I did. Did I? I just sent this one. Okay, so you don't have the old one. Okay, so make sure you print that out, put it inside your notebook so you'll have it, so you won't come up and ask me what? When you in your office, I will ignore you.
Where is your office?
211. It is, I have, okay, on my information sheet, go to my information sheet. I'll go there for you. Let's see, where's dang old sent, dang old handouts, there we are. And go to my handout for those that printed them out, that went and read their email. You're supposed to be bringing those here today, but I know you didn't. Wait a minute, where's my handouts? They're supposed to be on this. Okay, do y'all not see? They're supposed to be on this sheet. Where are they? I did. Oh, here they are. Sorry, I hit the wrong one. All right, there we go. All right. If you go to my handout that says Hubert Shamley McClure, take that old email. I had to get my cell number changed. There we go. All right. The reason I print this out is for this right there, because that is how what? That is how you can get in touch with me. Cell number and email at the office is the best ways. So text or call me or email me at my office. Those are the two ways to get in touch, because both of them go to my phone. And people will tell you, I will sit in class and help students until the next class comes in. So I'm not in my office like 10 minutes after each class. I'm not in my office 10 minutes. I don't do that. I just stay in my room. I help students, and then I go to my next class. Most of my classes are in 236 this semester because of the video and all. So they tried to put all my classes in 236, but the projector was not working today, so that's why we're in here today. Hopefully they'll get that working. They said they were going to have it working before my 12:45 class. Here's directions to my office, AC 211, second floor. When you get off the elevator, that's assuming you took the elevator because it says directly left of the elevator. Okay, so if you come up the stairs, you're going to have to reverse it because you're looking at the elevator instead of getting off the elevator. I have to go through this because some people say, well, I come off the stairs and I went left and I went in the classroom. I don't usually say anything to that, but anyway. Turn left right after you get off the elevator. I'm the last office in the left corner. So when you turn right there at the elevator, go all the way until you get to the corner where the two walls meet, and that's my office right there. You'll usually, if I'm in there, you'll usually hear me because my voice carries like 3 blocks. But that's why I put that out there. See locator sheet for office hours, and they're also posted on my office door or right beside my office door. Okay? Capiche? Comprende? Everybody feel good about that? Good. And that's that. Things you'll be graded on. That's another handout that's very important. Here are things that you will be graded on. And you're going to have 4 unit tests in here, and I'm going to go over that in just a minute because I sent you a handout, and don't compare your handout with another 103 class because I switch it around because I teach 120 and 103 the same way. That way you don't have to study as much. If you've had 120 with me, then you will be able to do, let's see, who's had 120 with me? Anybody? Okay, y'all have had 120. The first and the second test of 120, I switch it around to where the first and the second test in this class is the same as the first and the second test in 120. So if you have your test, or you can get your test off of Course Compass, they're going to be very similar. And therefore, you can study the homework and the test that way, because there's no use in, and students can also take my 120 and my 102, 103 together, because the first unit test is the same and the second unit test is the same. So you don't have to study as much. Kill two birds with one stone. Yes, ma'am.
So the quantitative and prompts and stats are very similar?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Quantitative reasoning is just a watered down, a difficult name for a watered down course. Actually, this course is basically 155 on vitamins. It ain't even 155 on steroids. It's 155 on vitamins.
So if you had to say, which one's easier? Props and stats, or I mean, you're saying you teach them.
I would say
probability.
Probability is easier because it centers on one thing: probability and statistics. Where this class, it centers on one thing: probability and statistics for the first 2 units. Then it goes to business math, and then it goes to logic. So it has 2 things that are not. And I just totally redid the order that we do, because they have Unit 1 as logic, Unit 2 as business math, Unit 3 is probability, and Unit 4 is statistics. And I switch it all around and make Unit 1 statistics, Unit 2 probability, because that's the way you learn it in 120. So therefore you've already seen that material. And then I put business math in Unit 3, because business math in this course is very important for a lot of students, because a lot of students don't even know what a budget is. And they don't even know what a surplus is. They don't know what the word is. And then the logic math is at the end, because the logic that they teach in this class is not that detrimental to you surviving in the real world, versus the business math and the probability. So that's why I put the probability first and the business math third. So you'll see when we get to it. But that helps a lot of my probability students if they're taking it with the 103, or if they've taken it with me before. They don't have to study as much for the Unit 1 and Unit 2 tests, because they've already had it. Okay?
I have one more question.
Yes.
You said something about the compass. Is that where our homework?
Course Compass, yeah, everything's on Course Compass, test and homework.
So the required package like this?
Yes.
You do use this?
Yes, I use it. In fact, I was the one that brought it on campus
Okay.
long time ago.
All right. Well,
So-
before I went and spend that kind of money, I wanted to
Yes.
ask, because I read lots of stuff out there.
Yeah, there's some teachers that are still, on the arc and still not using technology. I don't mind you not using technology, but some of it is very useful, because it gives the student instant feedback. If you get a problem right, if you get a problem wrong on the test, you know it instantaneously, versus having to wait 2 or 3 weeks or 2 or 3 days for a teacher to grade everything and get it back to you. So it does help in that instance. It helps with convenience. You can take the test and homework whenever you want to. Well, not whenever, but whenever I open up the test, you can do the test for 7 days. And that's what this says right here, that you can take it takes 2 or 3 chances to take the test. It takes the higher of the 3 chances. I usually give 3. And that's the test question. Takes the higher of the 3 grades. And I'll put that on every test. How do I count tests in this class? And it'll say take the higher of the 3 grades. How many days do I give you? Usually 7. I usually give you 7 days. And that's because some of y'all have 5 flat tires and 3 dead grandmothers with 2 weak funerals. And that's why I do that. You take the test on your time. If you take the first test and you have 5 kids running around like wild Indians, and you have a dog jumping on top of the keyboard and a cat jumping on top of your head and thunderstorm outside, then I don't think I'd take the second and third test at home. I think I would take it somewhere else. All right? That's why I give you 2 or 3 times to take it. Therefore, when lightning hits your house, which it will when you take a test, lightning is either going to hit it or earthquake or something's going to happen because you're going to call me and say, oh, this happened, and we'll take the second and third test. That's why I give it 3 times. You take the test on your time, multiple choice and open answer. You can review and print out the test after you have taken it. So once you take the first test, you can print it out. Is the second test going to be the same as the first test? No. It'll similar material, but it's not going to be the same exact test because that would be ridiculous for me to give you 3 exact tests. Well, some of y'all would still fail because that's just inevitable. There's going to be 4 tests in here, and that will count 60% of your grade. And there's another test question. 60, 20, and 20. That's a test question right there. What are the weights in this course? 60, 20, 20. You would think everybody get that right, wouldn't you? Do they? I put another one on there that says 30, 30, 30, and that's the one they picked. Why is 30, 30, 30 wrong? That's a 90, not 100.
So that fifth test will be done in class?
Huh?
Fifth time?
What'd you say? I was talking about the people that get it wrong. What?
I said the fifth test will be done in class?
No, we don't have that. That's just take that off.
You take that off?
Yeah, sometimes I have classes that have 5 tests and I have to put 5 on there.
I see.
This one don't have. Just go by the syllabus. We only have 4.
It's right, so
Yep.
on my syllabus.
Yeah, mark that out.
When you buy the access code, just the access code, does it have the book online?
Yeah.
Okay.
The book is online. Once you log in, the book is online.
And where are those course IDs at?
We don't have course IDs anymore.
Read the syllabus is
Oh, well, don't read the syllabus. What
Because-
syllabus?
Because I read that and I
Yeah.
looked for like 30 minutes and I was getting really frustrated.
No,
I
you
texted
don't do it.
You got a
You-
new
you-
number and then I started
You
getting
wait for me the first day of class. If you get confused about something, you just say, ask you at the first day of class. Don't fret over it. Don't go into Hammy the squirrel over it. You went into Hammy.
I did because then I texted you and you got a new number and I was like, he's not texting me back.
Yeah,
And then I got
I put you on do not call list.
No, he changed his number.
No, well, I changed my number, didn't you? You were in my class last semester, wasn't you?
I had you my first semester of college.
Yeah, my number changed. I had to change it last semester. We won't go there, but I had to change it. Cumulative homework will count 20%. Final exam will count 20%, and the rest is 60%. Question. Now, why did I say about Hammy the squirrel? Well, some of y'all turn into Hammy the squirrel when it comes to dates. Usually the people that worry about dates the most are the people that what? Huh? I heard it. Procrastinate. People that worry about dates are the people that worry about doing it at the last minute. I don't care about dates. I will put dates up when they are relative, when they are important. I will, it says right here, homework online is started when I start what? The material. Some of y'all are going to come to me tomorrow and ask me, or not, whenever y'all come back Wednesday, when's the homework due? And I'll just look at you like you're an alien or something. I'm not going to even entertain that question. Why? Why am I not going to entertain when the homework due? Well, that, and plus, I haven't even what? I haven't even started. Just think of Hammy jumping around. Hammy the squirrel. Y'all know who Hammy the squirrel is? That's what y'all act like. When's the homework due? When's the test due? When we turn this in? You need a life. Okay? For example, this is made up. Why do I have to put that? Because I did this one semester and I didn't put that this is made up. I said, for example, if we are on Unit 1 and it covers 8.1, 8.1 through 8.8, I had a student come back the next class and say, I think I'm in the wrong class. And I was like, why? It says, because our Unit 1 is Chapter 4 and you're saying Unit 1 is in 8.1 and 8.8. So I had to put, this is made up. Y'all think I'm kidding. Some of y'all have had in my class before. Am I kidding? No. There are some people, I don't know how they get a driver's license, much less how they get through school. I really don't understand it. If we cover Unit 1, and it's 8.1 through 8.8, when we get to 8.7 in class, that's when you need to start worrying about what? That's when you need to start worrying about turning in your homework, and you need to start worrying about a test date. And who do you think's going to tell you that? I will. I will tell you when I'm going to post the test. I will tell you when the homework is due, and we'll do it on Course Compass. I'll put the dates on there, don't I? We do it together. I say, okay, I think I'm going to make the homework due on this day. And it pops up there, and I show you, and we say it 2 or 3 times. Kumbaya, we all get around the campfire and say, it's going to be due on this day. And I'll get somebody in the next class come up and say, when's the homework due? And I'll put a date on the test. It'll start, let's say today is July 4th, okay, or July 3rd. All right, we don't have class Monday, so that's July 4th. And I'll say, okay, I'm going to start the test on July 7th. And I'll start it, I'll click it, and it'll have up there July 7th. And I'll say 7 days from July 7th to July 14th. I'll stop at midnight on the 14th. I'll click it, it'll show up there, and everybody will see it. And you're supposed to write it down, put it in your calendar, whatever the case may be. And there's no questions. There's usually not a question, but somebody will ask me, when's the homework due or whatever after that. Whenever in doubt, always go back to Course Compass, look on the homework, look on the test, and it usually will have a date. When it started, or when it started, and when it what? When it terminates. If there is no date, then what do you need to do? Jump around like a chicken with your head cut off and run around in circles? No, you don't need to worry about it. Because if there's no date on the homework, then that means we're nowhere near the end of the what? The section. If there's no date on if there's no start date on the test and no end date on the test, or if you can't see the Unit 2 test, then that means we're nowhere near what? The test. So you don't need to worry about it. But no, the people that usually worry about dates are the people that are going to try to put it off to the what? Last minute. Yes, ma'am.
Your homework assignments, like, I know this is an example, but how many units do you, I know it's estimation about how many units?
Go to your syllabus or your handout, and we'll go to that right quick. I'll just go to the handout because the handout, I'm going to tell y'all what the handout is. The handout, I copy and paste from the syllabus. Well, Hubert, why do you do that? They tell me to do that. My department head tells me to do it. My dean tells me to do it. I know it insults your intelligence, but that's what I'm told to do. So it's called the Math 103 Supplement. That's what it's called. And basically, it is the syllabus without the competencies. I take out the competencies, and what's left, I put on another sheet of paper so you can have 2 sheets of paper that says exactly what? The same thing. Don't you love bureaucracy? And look down here. I don't like the way this is, so I fix it that way. Okay. Right down here, dang old chart. Dang old right there. There it is. So how many units? Well, there's how many sections? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections. Usually with each section of homework, I give anywhere from 10 to 15 questions. Unless there is something very, 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 very important, which this is not an algebra-based course, it is more math-based, so you're not going to get a lot of repetition in this class like you would in factoring in the algebra class, so you're not going to see a homework with 50 or 60 questions on it, which you would in algebra, like factoring or like long division or like something that you need to do over and over and over. So most of your problems in here, most of your homeworks are going to be anywhere from 10 to 15. So
each section would have 10 to 15 of
Mhm.
everything. So
Yes.
5A would trying
At
to
most,
see what-
yes, at most.
That's fair enough.
Some of them have 5, some of them have 12. I do not like the layout of this book. I do not like the way that they divide A and C. I don't like that. So I have to. Bye, Miss Wilson. Are you coming back? Okay. All right. I don't like the way they have this, but we'll get by. Now the good thing is, for those of you that's had my 120 before, all you have to do is find your notebook and just study the 120 Unit 1 and Unit 2 material, and you'll be good to go. Just refresh over that, and you'll be good to go. You don't even, and just do the homework. The homework will be real easy for you. Those of you who have not had my 120 or haven't had 120, then you're going to do a lot of reading in these first couple of sections. There's a lot of reading and a lot of terminology. So I would suggest from now until Wednesday, y'all get started on reading the first couple of sections, at least 5 and at least section 5, 5A, 5C, and 5E. Those are some reading sections that you need to do. We won't actually, excuse me, we won't actually get into the math until about chapter 6. That's where we get into the heavy math. Most of this is, chapter 5 is reading. Okay, so that hopefully answers your question there. And like I said, if you go to another 103 class, you know, your friends in another 103 class, and you compare these sheets right here, theirs is going to be bass backwards of mine. And the only reason I do that is because most people that have had probability and statistics are taking it with 103. They're going to have this, then they're going to have this. And there's no sense in teaching this as Unit 3 and Unit 4 when you have it in 120 as Unit 1 and Unit 2. To me, that's double work. Like taking the information out of the syllabus and putting it on another paper, that's double work. I think it's ridiculous. But I just teach. Okay? So that's that. This sheet right here, you've got another one in it, in your syllabus, just like this. Take it out. Now, I don't know if I turned it around in the syllabus. Y'all have to look. I don't know. But this is the one I want you to go by, the one that's turned around. Take this, put it in your notebook, outside sleeve, where you'll have it, because this is what you keep up with when you miss a day. This is what you keep up with when you want to get ahead, when you want to go over stuff. This is what tells you. I do not cover things that are not on this. If I do, I tell you about it. Now, something else we have to do with students. Let me pull up the academic calendar.
What was that fourth one?
What was what?
Fourth one.
I'm sorry. Let me get back to it.
This is one I'm going to ignore completely. Never mind. I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, this one down here. I cover chapter 2 and 3. I don't know if I do 4, but I know I cover 2 and 3. I don't cover 1 because it takes too much time to cover 1, so I don't cover it. But anyway, we'll get to that when we get there. I spend a lot of time in income taxes because a lot of people have no clue about income taxes. That's why they're Democrats. I'm sorry. That was a joke. Their income taxes, because a lot of people don't understand how income taxes work. They think that they just take some out of the check and that's it. No, that ain't the way it works. You have to be at a certain level. At one level, you get 10 to 15% of your check. At the other level, you get 20 to or 15 to 20%. I think the highest level is 39%. So if you are a very well-to-do person going to Tri-County Tech, then you are, you know, I don't know why you're at Tri-County Tech. But anyway, you give almost 40% of your income to Uncle Sam. I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay? So that's a very important sheet. So, but it's not so important that you need to write it twice, but you have it twice. So there. Questions on that? I would highly suggest a TI-83 or an 83 plus or anything above a TI-83. You don't have to go out and buy a calculus-based TI-89 because that's not worth it. It's too much. That's too much calculator for this course. I would suggest a TI-83 or a TI-84 because it has statistical formulas already programmed in it that will help you out tremendously and help the class out because we won't have to do everything by hand. So, but I'll also show you how to do it on the Excel spreadsheet. Okay, just in case you're a Excel person like myself. Doesn't mean you have to do it. Okay, you can do it by hand if you want to. I don't care. I just use the Excel spreadsheet. Huh?
Doable by hand.
Huh?
It's doable by hand.
Yeah, you still doable by hand. Yes, you can do it by hand if you want to. That's good. Let's see, what else do I need to show y'all? Oh, my courtesies. Class courtesies. Now, most people in here will tell you that I'm pretty laid back. I've got almost 20 years of teaching under my belt. I've only had to throw out 3 people in 20 years. The first 2 were males, and last semester I had to throw out a female because she was rude, belligerent. I could think of a few more names, but she was just, well, I just told her to leave. And mainly because of computer. After last semester, I'm not letting computers back in my classroom. Okay? Because this person would sit in class, play on her computer, and then when I would finish a problem, she would look up and go, "How'd you do that problem?" And finally one day I just blew up. I just said, "Enough." I said, "If you can't pay attention, blah, 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 blah." And she said, "Well, you're just being a jerk." I said, "You can leave." So, I don't know. One of those high school dual enrollment things where you got a lot of high school students in the class. So, of course, if you go to one of my students, thought it was important to tell me that I got bashed on Rate My Professor. So I'll give you one guess on who it was, and you probably get it right. So anyway, three students in 20 years. I think that's a pretty good record. I'm pretty fair. I do get irritated when students ask me to repeat things 3 or 4 times. I do get irritated when one person finds an error and then 5 people holler right after that, "Yeah, man, you got it wrong." Bubba's sitting in the back row, don't even know what day it is. "Yeah, man, you got that wrong." I asked Bubba what I got wrong. Ooh. I can't stand when y'all do that. That's just one of my pet peeves. Am I weird? Yes, I'm weird. But that's one of my pet peeves. All I need you to do if you find a mistake is say, "Hubert, I think you got a mistake." I don't need 5 people after that going, "Yeah, I think you got a mistake. Yeah, I think you got a mistake. Yeah, there's one that's wrong." Why you got to tell it? Why you got to say something after the person has said something? Why didn't you say something before the person said something? Ugh. Okay, I have a conniption. So don't do that, because I will lose it periodically after that if you do that. So don't do that. My number 1 rule is treat students the way that I would want to be what? Treated. Now, I have, good gracious, how many people in here have had me before? How many? Raise your hand. 2/3 of the class. Any of y'all can ask these people that raise their hand, and I'm very confident, except for Miss Wilson, because she has issues with me. I don't know why she does. She'll tell you something bad, but all the other people, they'll tell you good things about me. I'm confident in that I'm fair, not good things like good compliments. I'm talking about fair, laid back. You don't have to be hammy in my classroom, that kind of stuff, all right? Please don't be hammy. That irritates me. Cell phones. I have a cell phone. Miss Wilson, does my cell phone go off in class? Yes, it does. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're never in class. All right. Miss Black, does my cell phone go off?
Yes.
It does. And usually I have 3 or 4 people that call me. One is my son, or my son's school, or my daughter's school. That's 2. And then my mother. All of them know when my classes are. So if I get a phone call from one of those 3 places, I know what? Something's wrong. Yeah, something's wrong, and I need to address it. Same thing with your people. If you have a son, daughter, sister, brother, whatever, parent, and they call you when they know you are in class, then chances are something is what? Wrong. You need to answer it. You don't need to answer it in class. You just need to hit it, go outside in the hallway, talk or text your ears off in the hallway. You can run down that gum hallway naked with green jello all over you if you want to. Just don't do it in my classroom. All right? The hallway is to the classroom as the highway is to Tri-County Tech's parking lot. Okay? There's certain things you can do on that highway out there that you can't do in Tri-County Tech's parking lot. There are certain things you can do out here in this hallway that you can't do in the classroom. And texting and talking on the phone is one of those things. We used to have teachers that put little signs up with a phone, and they're hammy teachers, okay? They're too uptight, all right? People, it's 2015. There are people orbiting the earth. Phones are a part of our lives. And for somebody to sit up here and say, well, you have to turn your phone off and you can't use it, I think it's hypocritical because they've got one in their pocketbook and it's on. And for a teacher to tell you they don't have a cell phone, you know what I say to that? I say bull crap. There might be one here, unless she teaches music, but she probably has it in her phone. She probably has it in her car. All right? But anyway. Yeah, she's probably got a brick phone, yeah. Anyway, that's my thing on cell phones. All right? I'm not uptight about it, so you don't have to be. All right? Attendance policy. If I followed Tri-County Tech's attendance policy, Miss Wilson wouldn't be here. Okay? Miss Wilson is very responsible. She comes to class, she does her work, and when she doesn't need to be here, she comes through the threshold, she tells me she's going to be here or she's going to leave, and mark her absent or mark her here, and I do that. And that's the way I do all students. I do not take emails, and I do not take text, and I do not take a note that's up here. You've got to show me that you're here, because I'm not going to lose my job over you. I'm sorry, but I got 2 kids to pay for, okay? I got to have a job, okay? So I'm not going to lose my job because of financial aid and attendance. So you've got to cross the threshold, come up here, talk to me, tell me you're going to leave, and I'll count you here. We good on that? Okay. I would go through and ask y'all to describe my class, but there's so many in here, I think y'all can just get the point. Laid back, comfortable, fun. We try to have fun. Sometimes you have a student in the classroom that will not let you have fun. You ever had one of those? Either they are a social misfit, in other words, they're socially awkward. I have one in one of my classes. You can't joke around because they go crazy and they start to go into convulsions because they don't know how to handle a sense of humor or something. I don't know, but they just get all crazy. And then you got some that, you know, if you say something funny, they just sit there and look at you like, you're not supposed to be funny, you're supposed to be teaching. We're missing material because you're trying to be funny. You know, you have both ends of the spectrum. Most of the time, 90% of the time, classes are fun because the students are fun. And you get one person can screw that up. So, Miss Wilson, don't screw it up for us now, okay? Most of the time, people will to work together. But sometimes you have a stick in the mud.
Do you
And
have
they
to
were,
conform?
do I what?
Do you conform to that one person? Or do you
No, I do not. I ignore it usually. But the problem is, just like, for instance, I had a student, I'll just say I had a student, even though I got the same student. I had a student that if you was to say something funny, she would keep talking about it 30 minutes into the class. I mean, she would go back to that. I mean, and I'm like, shut up. Unfortunately, the person has taken me 3 or 4 times and she's in my class this semester, and that class is going to hate her. You know, I hate it. Just be normal. Now, the stick in the mud, the one that says, well, Hubert, you don't need to be speaking. You need to be going over math. You need to drop. Okay? You need to go get Mom at Gabati to help you with your math. Because he starts at 8:01 and he ends at 9:35 and 30 seconds. And he covers 100, 200 pages. Okay? That's who you need to go. You don't need to be in here. Okay? Because I'm not going to do that. If you're a Mortimer's nerd, you know, if you're one of those people that would like to do homework every single night and likes to read 500 pages a day, then you're in the wrong class. All right. And I don't like know-it-alls. NASA engineers. What's the difference in a NASA engineer and somebody that knows the material? A NASA engineer don't know when to keep their mouth what? Shut. And most of the time when they open their mouth, it's usually the wrong answer. The person that knows the material usually keeps their mouth shut and doesn't say anything about it. That's the difference. It's kind of like new money and people that's got money. That's what some of the richest people in the world, you would never what? You'd never know it. Because they look like they just threw themselves together. But the ones that act like they're rich are the ones that probably got the biggest house payments or biggest debts. All right. Okay, y'all can read that on your own. That's just a little bit about me, about the way I think, which is scary, but, you know, to give you a little bit of insight on my class. What time's class start? 9:35, so we've been an hour in. Okay. Just want to make sure. Okay, this is, I told you this is virtual office hours. If you go to the maroon shirt, that's the classroom. Now, you go to playlist, and I've already got y'all's class in there. Of course, there's no videos yet. I will post this one today, this screen capture. I got to figure out how to work that thing, but I've already posted one in Math 120. Here it is right here. And you can actually see it and click on it and mute it. Yeah. And basically it shows what I'm going over today, just like I think I had this class at 8 o'clock this morning. And yeah, and it's going through all that. So anyway, let me fast forward a little bit. Yeah, it's going over the same thing that I'm going over now, only with them. And that way, people that miss the first day of class, they can at least get the information and not have to, you know, I don't want to say come to me wanting to get the information, but you don't need to because it's right there. So it does help out having the videos. Okay, so that's the classroom. That's where you'll go. This is where you'll go to get videos on your class. There it is right there. And the first one I add will be this one that I'm doing today. Okay? Let's go ahead and write down your important dates. This can be found under academic calendar. The academic calendar, when you go on to TCTC, y'all have to help me out because I'm used to looking at this through a teacher's. I got faculty here. What do y'all have? Student? Do y'all have student tab there? Okay, well, huh?
We don't have an employer or doctor.
Okay, well, do you have anything that says student?
You want me to open it up for you?
No, I mean, that's fine. The reason I ask is, under faculty, that's what you're looking for, academic calendar. So you need to find the academic calendar in your TCTC somewhere. Because when you click on it, it'll ask for what semester. You say spring, and that'll come up with this right here. And I would highly suggest that you print this out and put this in your notebook, because this is something, well, there's two types of people. There's the brain dead people, and then there's the people that knows what's going on. All right, the brain dead people are the people that walk in and go, you know, walk in Monday. The parking lot's empty. The hallways are empty. The classrooms are empty. And then that person walks into this classroom and it's empty, and they say to themselves, I guess we don't have class today. The reason that person don't know that is because they don't have this. Make sure you print this out, because it will answer all of your questions pertaining to dates. So let's look at it. College is closed on the 19th. There it is right there. College is closed means what? No classes. The next day that you have to worry about no classes is, I have no idea.
Spring break.
Yeah, probably spring break, wherever that is.
23 and 24.
Where?
On the side of it.
Okay, that's March. I was going to see if there's anything down through here. Nope.
There's developing no classes, March 3rd. So that's
Oh,
Tuesday.
shoot.
That one's kind of-
That's the day we have to do stupid stuff. Spend an hour looking at an apple. What do you think the apple's thinking? Anyway, that's faculty staff development day. I'll see if I can get out of that. All right, anyway, well, March 3rd, you need to write that down, no classes. And then you go over here. Last day to withdraw from classes is March, I got to find it right here, March 11th. Last day to withdraw from classes is March 11th. After that day, you will receive a WF, WE, WA, I'm going to get a WF, or FA, which is failure due to attendance or something like that. Okay, going down. And these are your most important right here. Last day of class for Unit A. Sorry, for Session A. April what? That is a test question. You will have 4 of those. They will say the same thing every test. When's the last day of class? 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 So hopefully by the end of the semester, I won't get the question, what? When's the last day of class? When's the last day of class? When's the last day of class? April 27th. When is exams? April 28th through the 4th. Write that down. Now those 2 dates are very important. Why are they very important? Because in my classes, 90% of the time, I will assign the last test and the final exam on the last day of class, and they will end on the last day of finals. No yawning. Okay? No yawning in class, no coughing in class, and no sneezing in class. All you can do is breathe. No coughing. You need to lay off the Marlboro Reds. I know. It's a joke. All right. So you can rest assured on April 27th, your last test will become active, and your final exam will become active on April 27th, and it will end, those 2 tests will end at midnight on May the 4th. So you can go ahead and write that down, because that's what I always do. All my tests and all my homework always cut off at midnight. Actually, they cut off at 11:59 p.m. Why do I say 11:59 p.m.? Because if I put 12 a.m., oh my God, it would cause a meltdown with some students because they couldn't figure out if that was noon or if that was midnight. So I don't put 12 a.m. I don't put 12 p.m. I put 11:59 p.m. because they'll see that p.m. and they'll say 11 o'clock p.m. That's after the news. It's dark. Yeah, it's not noon. I have to think like that. And y'all know, some of y'all that's had me before know why I have to think like that. Because some of y'all, not in this class, but some of y'all as students, I don't think y'all think very much. Okay? I just don't. All right? So you need to print this out and you need to put it in your notebook. And you need to mark everything that has Session A on it. Because Session A is how many weeks? 14 weeks, Hubert. That's right, class. How do you know that, Hubert? It says it somewhere on here. I don't know where. I think it says it at the bottom or something. Well, it says it somewhere. There, up at the top right there. Yeah, right here. Dang old Session A is dang old Tuesday, January 13th through May 4th. Question. Okay. Y'all feel good about yourself? Good. I'm going to have to discourage you as soon as possible. Where'd my handouts go? Guess I lost them. I showed you the locator card. I showed you all the other stuff. Let's see. Sent. No, I have it in inbox. Let me get them back. Where is my handouts? There they are. How to get on to My Labs Plus. That's right here. There's that. That's pretty self-explanatory. There is a way that you can go to tctcmylabsplus.com instead of going through Blackboard. I would highly suggest that because half the time Blackboard is what? Down. So I would highly suggest going through this website. If not, call the 1-800 number. I think I can 1-800. I got to be careful because if you dial one digit different, you'll get dang old DaytonHotline.com. Hold on. It's 1-800-677-6337. And the difference is change the 8 to a 6 and you'll get the hotline. Make sure it's 6. Come on. That's it. 1-800-677-6337.
Okay, do we buy the access code on there, or we buy it on Force Compass?
You can do either one.
Because when I went to that Force Compass, it was like, it wasn't going to let me buy it unless I had Force ID.
No, you shouldn't do that. If you go to this one right here, that's My Labs Plus. Well, let me just pull it up for you. Hold on. I'm getting there. That's not what I want. There we go. www.tctc.mylabsplus.com. I'm trying to think if you probably need additional help signing in because they don't have, well, they do. They do have your T number. What does it say type in? Your T number? Hold on, let me go back to the, where'd my handout go? I mean, is that it? No. There it is. My Labs Plus website, your login name and password provided by your school. This is your username. So if your username is bsmith1, then you would type in bsmith1 and your T number for your password. So that's what you should do. You should already be enrolled because you're in the class. So now the access code, it might ask you for an access code. The access code basically is telling them that you paid for the book. And they don't want you to just be taking it and not pay for the book. So, or the access code, either one. It's a proof. It's basically a proof of purchase. The proof of purchase. What?
You can buy the access code like online.
You can buy it online. You can buy it from the bookstore. You can buy it with the book. It comes three different ways. Huh?
Or from an individual?
Yes, you can buy it from an individual, but make sure it's not been opened. Make sure it's still good. Now, if you had this class last semester and you took it under another teacher and it didn't work out, then you don't need, I think you don't need anything. I think you can just switch. I think once you type in your username and password, I think it'll automatically have you in the class, and I don't think you have to pay anything if you take it over. I don't know about that, but I think that's the way it used to be. Okay? Yes, sir.
What's cheaper, buy from the bookstore or buy it online?
It's about 20 to 25, I think, about 20, maybe $20 or $30 cheaper if you buy it online.
Would you recommend just buying the access code?
Well, see, a lot of people use old books or share books in class and use the online book for home.
Is the 120 book the same?
No. The Unit 1 and Unit 2 is pretty much. Yes.
That one's okay?
Yeah. If it's the same title, just different edition, I don't care.
Good, okay.
Okay? Y'all decide on what you want to use for a book in class, because it doesn't matter to me. And you can print out up to 10 pages at a time from the ebook, which usually a section is less than 10 pages. So technically, you could get you a what is it, a 3/4 inch notebook, and just put the sections in there as you need them, and just use that as your book. You could do that. Doesn't matter to me. There's only 2 or 3 things I care about in this class. One is that you take the test. 2 is that you do the homework. 3 is that you come to class so I don't have to drop you, and I don't want to drop you. And I wait until the absolute last possible minute to drop you, because what happens if I drop you and I haven't talked to you, as soon as I turn that into student records, you're going to show up for the next class. That's Murphy's Law. That's usually what happens. Okay? All right, who else has a question? Anybody got a question about that? All right, let's see, what else? I've actually covered a lot in this class. Y'all were able to. Okay, who's got questions for me? All right, this is what you need to be doing between now and Wednesday. 1, you need to figure out what kind of book you want. You need to figure out how you want to buy your access code. That's hand in hand. Beg, borrow, steal, share a book in class. I don't care. You have everybody in here that's in MyLabs Plus has a copy of the book. It's in MyLabs Plus. So what you do as far as a physical book to bring to class, that's entirely up to you. I don't care. 2, you need to start reading chapters 5 and 6. And when I say read, I don't mean do any problems. I'm just saying read the material. I don't mean for you to do any homework yet. And 3, make sure that you get all the materials you need for this class. I don't care what you take notes in. I don't care what you bring to class. I do care that you bring a TI 83 or better. I do not want you opening up your laptops in class. I'm sorry. But after last semester, I'm not going to deal with it. Period. Nope. I want you just paper and pencil, and that's all I want. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to put up with it this year. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I tell people how to put the TI-83 on their phone. It's Wabbit EMU. Is that right? WABBITEMU. And that's how you can put your TI-83 on your phone. And that way you don't have to buy a calculator. Now, I don't know about you iPhone users, y'all have to go through Congress to get y'all's, I don't know, but most of you Droid people, go to Play Store and go to Wabbit EMU, and you should be able to download it. Yes, ma'am. Huh? No, unless you just want one. I mean, you've got one online, so you don't need one. If you don't want to go out and buy one, that's fine. Now, I have to take the roll, so I'm going to do that. Do not leave, because I want to make sure I got everybody's questions answered, and you might think of something while I'm calling the roll. This is where I get to make fun of your name. Make fun of everybody's name while I'm doing it. Because I can't log in.
Remember last semester when you told us, when you told us our last class would be at Colorado?
Yep.
You never showed up?
Nobody.
Me and Desai.
Well,
That was awkward. So thank you for not showing up.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. One of the reasons I didn't show up was because I had a bad week that week.
Okay.
I'll make it up to you, though.
I'll let you slide.
I'll make it up. We'll go.
In fact, nobody else showed up. And we
I'm sorry.
For like 30 minutes. Nobody else showed up.
No, the whole class,
Yeah, we're like, oh no, we got a whole bunch of people. 30 minutes later, that dude don't even make it up.
Okay, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. I need to go to Tri-County. I was on the wrong one. No wonder it won't take my password. Okay, let me just go here. Well, you know, you remember when I gave the analogy of the bearing and the rod for the being slop and tight? Somebody complained about that. So, I mean, you go out of your way to try to explain things, and people, there's always one. It's Bush's fault. It's all Bush's fault.
Why you say that?
It's always Bush's fault. It'll be Bush's fault no matter what.
Let's go with W.
No, yeah. Everything's his fault. You didn't know that?
You obviously that watch the news lately.
Huh?
You obviously ain't watched the news lately.
Yeah.
You've heard me.
Yeah, everything's his fault. France was his fault. He did all that. Yeah. Everything's George Bush's fault. And Obama not showing up, that was Bush's fault too. Let's see. What class is this? 1, 3. All right. Let's see if I can remember some of y'all's names. All right. Mr. Austin.
Here, I go by Alex.
Okay, you're Mr. Austin. I remember last names better. And when I get to know you, I might call you by your first name, but I doubt it. I don't know why this does this. All right. Mr. Bandy.
Here.
Where are you? Okay. Miss Black is here. Mr. Bright is here. Miss Chapman. Where are you? Okay. You need to settle down. You're a little bit too loud. Mr. Franks is here. Mr. Jordan.
that's me.
Okay. Miss Jordan. I'm sorry. Okay. Miss Kurtz is here. Miss Martin is here. Miss Morris.
That would be me.
That would be you? Okay. All right. Okay. I'm sorry. Parker. Okay. I didn't know if that was a female or male name. I can't sometimes. Huh?
Appreciate it.
I just can't. Sometimes, I mean, look at this. Remington. I mean, I didn't know that, but I just said Mr. I said Mr. didn't I? I'm sorry. Okay. Mr. Patel is here. Miss Raines. Okay. And Miss Swallow. Miss Swallow. Where are you? I thought that was you. You got to speak up. Mr. Wilmerine's here and Miss Wilson's here. So, is everybody here? Anybody not here? Okay. Nobody going to speak if you're not here. All right. Who's got questions for me? All right. Y'all get out of here. Have a good day.
Just.
I'm off